Germany.
Hey Troy, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you, Max?
I'm fine. So I have a couple of questions about that cool Puddle of Mudd bass player named Troy McCoy.
Yes, that's me.
And the first question is, what was it like to share the stage with Wes, Jimmy and Kenny in the early Puddle of Mudd days?
Oh, it was awesome. Best time of my life. I had a great time. I'm so blessed and grateful that I got to play with them and be part of Puddle of Mudd. It was great.
Yeah. And what was the most memorable event or concert that you experienced with Puddle of Mudd?
I would say, obviously my very first gig was pretty awesome at the Lone Star there in Kansas City down Midtown, but probably the most memorable was the Rock Fest. We played in front of about, 10 to 20,000 people.
Wow, that's a lot.
It was hot. Yeah, it was hot. It was stressful. It was Tesla. Tesla was the headliner. We had the Toadies there. Who else? I forgot. I can't even think of the other bands right now. I have to pull up my. I still have my backstage pass that has all the bands listed on there. But that was awesome. I had a heat stroke, and so it was so hot that day, and I was so pumped up. I had to leave immediately after stage and find AC, and I dumped water all over my head. I thought I was going to die.
Well, gladly you didn't.
No kidding, thanks.
And I heard that you were one of the few people that were actually flown to the audition with Fred Durst and Geffen Records. And what happened there that you didn't get into Puddle of Mudd 2.0?
Well, probably because I just suck, and they probably didn't want me because I suck.
That's not true. You're a great bass player.
Well, thanks, Max. But it really came down to, all kidding aside, it came down to personalities. I didn't get along with Paul, Dick Buck Paul. I don't like him. He didn't like me. And
I don't think anybody gets along with him.
Yeah, I didn't like Paul, and so, I went out there. Wes called me out. They were having problems with Doug Ardito, and so Wes called me out, and I flew out there on a whim's notice, and I lost my job over the deal. By the way, my 6-figure job. And so anyway, he tried to convince me to fly out there. I was like, dude, I got training with my job. He's like, do you want to rock or do you want to not rock? And so I thought it was my only chance because, he fucking stole our life from us, stole our music, stole our whole fucking being. And so I figured this was my only chance to get back at it. And so I basically got fired over the deal, and I went out there, they flew me out. I took my Music Man bass with me, that was dumb. I should have just not done that and just used their bass, but it doesn't matter. Regardless. And then so anyway, fly out there, and immediately Paul was a dick, I don't get it. So Paul Phillips, by the way, Paul Phillips was a huge dick. You can put that in writing. And and so we did some rehearsals, and I come to find out, and this is before I really knew they were stealing our songs. So I get out there and I'm playing and we're in rehearsals, and I don't know, all of a sudden they want to play Drift and Die, and You Don't Know, and a bunch of old songs, and I'm like, immediately I get back to the apartment, call Jimmy, and like, Jimmy, they're playing all of our old songs, bro. They're playing our songs. They're stealing our songs. And so I wasn't too happy about that. And so, they pretty much sent me home pretty quick.
So you were also in other bands before Puddle of Mudd. That's correct, yeah?
Not much, Max. I mean, me and Jimmy had our bands growing up. We had Outcast in high school.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, but pretty much, we started Puddle of Mudd early. Me and Jimmy moved to Kansas City from Chanute, And we actually went around to music stores back in the day before the internet, obviously. We made flyers looking for musicians to play with. And so we went to these music stores, and they had little, chalk or bulletin boards. We'd hang our flyers up there looking for drummers and musicians. And lo and behold, Kenny Burkett called us, and me and Jimmy started jamming with Kenny, and we were kind of a cover band. We were playing like, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Ugly Kid Joe comes to mind, in Jimmy's dad's company's basement. And we were jamming down there, and it was going pretty cool, We got the cops called on us a few times, which was awesome.
What is that?
And then, it just kind of fizzled, and we were just kind of doing our thing. It wasn't going really far, and I decided to go to college, and I moved a couple hours away to go to college, and thank God I did, or Puddle of Mudd would have never happened, to be honest about it, because as soon as I left, they found other musicians, and that's when they found Sean and Wes, as soon as I left, and then I was jealous and upset about it, obviously. And so then they became pretty hot shit there in Kansas City, and it was creating a big crowds at their shows and creating a lot of good vibe and energy, and everyone was loving it. And so then I started coming back up there, hanging around with them in their practice space up there in North Kansas City, and I'd just hang out with them, I was still friends with them, and they were great. They were playing, they're still kind of playing covers, mixing in some originals. But, they were playing Thunder Kid, 65, and a bunch of cool songs. And then one time I was sitting there, it's kind of cool. Sean was a lot better bass player than me, because I was still kind of a young punk. And I looked up to Sean, I thought he was really good. He was good. And then they asked me to play with them, and Sean was there. Like, yeah, I'll play, whatever. And I think I played, like, Peace Sells with Who's Buying by Megadeth, and I probably butchered it, whatever, but it was still fun, and then they had a falling out with Sean. I'm not sure the whole details on that. You'll have to ask everybody else about that, but they kicked Sean out of the band, and they asked me to join, and I learned all their songs off the Stuck EP, and then just after that, they just asked me to join, and it was all good.
So, and that's when the videos took place that you uploaded recently?
Yeah, so, let's see, like that Neeners video I uploaded, that wasn't our first gig. I think I actually do have a video of our first gig at the Lone Star. I think I sent you a little quick sample of it. But that Neeners gig, I don't know when that was. That was 95. That was a little bit later, but yeah, I got better. We got better. Everything was pretty good, It was cool. We had a great time. It was the best time of my life.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really want to time travel back to those days in the 90s and just sit there and listen to the music.
I know. And actually, I do have a recording. I have recordings. We actually went into a little, private home studio of this guy, a friend of ours, and we recorded it. We actually recorded another, I guess, album or EP or whatever. We recorded a bunch of songs. We were going to call it In Deep, and it just never got released. It never got released. But there's a ton of songs on there. Electron Moon.
Yeah, I want to hear that fully.
It turned into Blurry. And then, Piss It All Away. And we also had a song called, let me think, they turned that into Never Change. It used to be called,
I think it was called Crystal.
Yes, I think you're right, Mads. I think you are right. So, but yeah, I still have all those. I still have that recording, that I bought the damn master tape for that because nobody else had any money besides me. I actually had a real job, so I was the one that paid for the damn tape. And actually, I think Kenny had a job, but anyway. But I paid for the tape. I paid for the tape, and which is fine. I didn't mind, but we recorded all those songs. I think Gimp was on there. Got Electron Moon, Piss It All Away. There's like I think there's 6 or 7 songs on that, and I'm getting ready to re-release it. You know, I'm gonna. Oh, Am I Amoeba was on there, and so I'm working on Am I Amoeba right now. I think that's gonna be our next release on our Graveyard Studios channel.
Okay, that sounds cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
So after Puddle of Mudd, you joined again with Jimmy in a band that was first called Cutout and then later known as Cooker. What can you tell us about that band?
Yeah, so Cooker basically started right after Puddle of Mudd. You know, Jimmy and Wes didn't quite get along so well, you know, which, you know, for good reasons, you know, it was for good reasons. And so we broke up, you know, and me and Jimmy decided to start our own band. This was back in probably 96, probably 97-ish, right in there. And so we found a drummer, and we just created a 3-piece. Jimmy was singing, doing guitar and singing, writing the lyrics, and, you know, I was doing the bass and, you know, helping and all that, obviously. And we found, you know, our drummer. And then we started writing our own songs. And so we were playing around Kansas City. It was more kind of an alternative rock, kind of 90s alternative rock, and that's kind of the direction it was going back in those days. And
just take the first song, for example, on Galvania, it's You Don't Know, and compare it with the original version and tell me what you think is better. I think the original version is much, much better.
It's way better. You got Jimmy Allen playing guitar, obviously.
Yeah, and you have Kenny on drums. I mean, Kenny is such a great drummer.
Well, true. Even Kenny, yeah. Exactly. I total respect to Kenny. I love Kenny. So, yeah, Kenny was good, man. That song was awesome. It was a little raw, you know. It was the earlier version was a little more raw. But, you know, the new version's so watered down, and it's horrible. It's like, it's not even close to the same. You know, I mean, Jimmy's still writing music. I'm still writing music. I got my Twistface. We got Cooker. We're still doing stuff. It's like we're still writing. We actually love writing. We love the creative process, and you know. And
oh, and I have another question on my paper here. What is Twistface doing at the moment?
We're in the writing phase. I got a bunch of new material. We're, you know, everybody can check it out on my channel at Graveyard Studios on YouTube or Graveyard Studios on Facebook. But we're writing some new heavy shit. It's like super heavy. You're kind of taking it back to like 80s metal. And so I've got some really cool rock songs. But my new stuff here in the last few weeks, man, it's really metal. It's heavy shit, and I love it. It's kind of like Slipknot crossed with Scooby-Doo.
I can't wait to hear that. And what I like about Twistface is that they, during the pandemic, just go out and shoot music videos.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we're doing it. We're trying our best, but we're you know, we do it for fun. We do it, you know, it's me and my buddy Kyle, well, it's not Kyle, actually, it's AD, Angry Daddy. So we got Angry Daddy as the lead singer. You know, we got T-Minus, we've got KWZ, and then, of course, without a doubt, we've got DJ Dirty Chaos. And then Killing Bird makes a cameo here and there, too. So we've got a big group of people. We kind of rotate musicians around, you know. We got people coming and going, but it's a very fluid situation. But we write and record all the time in my studio, my Graveyard Studio, and it's a lot of fun. And what's cool is we just get back to having fun again with music. It's not about the business anymore, and that's what sucks with, I think, Wes. He's so worried about the business aspect instead of having fun. And you got to have fun first, and otherwise your music isn't going to translate. You know, if you're not having fun doing it, it's not going to translate.
Yeah, but like I said, I would much rather just travel back to the 90s and just stay there.
I would too. The 90s were a great time for music. I miss the 90s. I mean, this is all before, the monopoly of the record companies. So there wasn't such a monopoly back then. And there was more money in CD sales. So there was a lot of money back then. So they could actually go out and actually find bands and sign them and, work them up instead of now. Now they don't sign anybody unless you got 1 million followers on your social media. It's a whole different environment than it was in the 90s. And, just glad I was a part of the 90s. I loved it. So anyway, I think I told you I'm going to release I Am My Amoeba. That song is pretty badass. I'm working on that this weekend. It's an old one from, like I said, the hidden CD or the hidden EP that we recorded back in '96. It's really punk. It's kind of a punk song, and Wes did a great job on that. I mean, he did awesome. My bass playing kind of sucks, and it's kind of raw sounding. I wasn't a great bass player back then, but so I mean, all this shit I'm talking about Wes. I mean, I talk shit on myself too, so don't think I'm uppity here. But it's pretty cool song, and I think people want to hear it. I actually had a request today on my Graveyard Studios channel. Had a guy chime in. He's like, "Do you have Am I Amoeba?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." He's like, "Can you release it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll release it for you guys." So that's coming up next for you, Mags. I'm gonna give you Am I Amoeba, and I will also get you Electron Moon, Mags.
Yeah,
I know you love it. I'll get you Electron
Moon. Do that as the next one.
I will. I promise. I'll get it for you. Yeah, I don't know who it was. His handle was Teeth Grinder, so I'm not sure who Teeth Grinder is.
That I don't know.
Teeth Grinder wants to hear Am I Amoeba, so I'm gonna try to satisfy old Teeth Grinder.
Oh, on YouTube. So I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. I get a lot of people on my channel, and I don't know who they are. I'm just trying to help everybody out and give them what they want.
Well, I hope to hear all the songs because, like I said, I really love the old 90s Mudd the most.
Cool.
And like I said, I'm especially looking forward to Electron Moon.
Okay. I promise I will. That'll be next after Am I Amoeba. How about that?
Yeah, it should be.
So I'm working on Am I Amoeba this weekend. Hopefully I'll have it out. I probably won't get it out tomorrow, which I try to get everything out on Sundays. So anybody out there, I try to release stuff on Sundays. This week we will have Am I Amoeba pumping this week. It's a cool song. Jimmy did great. Kenny did great. What's cool about it is, Kenny rocked the shit out of that song. When you listen to it, there's so much fast snare work on there. And I remember playing it live, man. We would practice this song, right, in the basement. And it's like, we would practice a song over and over and over and over. That's what we did. Jimmy and I loved it. We wanted to make sure everything was tight and good. Kenny did excellent work on that song. And you'll hear it. Probably the worst part of the song is my bass playing. So you have to kind of... I was the weak link in the band, but, I still did what I had to do.
Well, I'm sure it sounds way better than you think it does.
I hope so. I hope everybody likes it. I'm kind of picky. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and so when I hear my old stuff, I'm like, "Gosh, Troy, you should have been better. You should have practiced more."
Yeah, why didn't you? Why did you go to college instead of practicing more? Bad Troy.
Yeah, I was too busy partying and chasing girls and living the rock star life. I should have been practicing more like Jimmy.
Well, who of you got the most girls back then?
Wes got all the girls. Well, Jimmy did too. those suckers got all the girls. I was a dork back then. I was a dorky dork, and they were cool, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
I think all of you are incredibly cool, and you're all still the wild and crazy 20-year-old musicians you were back then.
Well, thanks, man.